A 7-year-old boy screamed in pain as he picked up scorching barbecue coals left on a beach. Callum McSwiggan was playing in the sand, skimming stones with his mum and 4-year-old brother when he picked up the hot coals, thinking they were rocks. He was left with horrific burns on his hands after the incident on Luss Beach, Scotland, the Daily Record reports. Callum was rushed to hospital where he was given morphine while the charred skin was cut from his hands. He has been bandaged up and medics say he might need physiotherapy in the future. National Park boss Gordon Watson said he was saddened and disappointed and strongly urged people to dispose of dangerous barbecues responsibly. Callum's mum Carly Lawler described the moment their day trip on Thursday turned to horror. She said, "I was teaching him how to skim stones in the water. He ran away to get some and he must have thought jackpot when he saw the pile of stones. They had been left on the grass edge of a tree where loads of kids were climbing. He picked them up and just screamed. Callum never cries. For him to cry, I knew it was serious." She added, "It was an accident just waiting to happen." The group of boys who threw the stones away were just sat there watching when it happened. "It's just so selfish." Everyone else on the beach ran to help. Loads of families got up and a man from the burger van got a hose and sprayed cold water on his hands. Callum was rushed to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Glasgow, where his hands were bandaged and placed in protective gloves. "My first thought was to take him to the Vale of Leven, but I was told I would have to go to Glasgow. I had to call my dad to come," said Carly, from Drumchapel. "It took 4 people to give him morphine just so he could brave the pain. He was screaming that bad. In that moment he just seemed so fragile. He is 7 years old and in that moment I just thought, my poor baby. He had to have the skin from his hand removed on both hands, but his right hand is the worst. He could need physiotherapy for his wrist because if the scar tissue joins together it could make it worse and harder to move. Callum will wear the gloves for at least 10 days to protect the bandages, and Carly says it has left him unable to do anything for himself." She added, "He is doing well. I think he is trying to be brave, but he is getting to points where he is starting to burst into tears. He cannot do anything for himself. He can't even scratch his own head. He is embarrassed and lost all his dignity. It's the summer holidays and he keeps asking me what is fun that doesn't need his hands. All his friends are meant to be going to Gravity in Brad and he can't go. It's such a shame. We are trying to make some jokes and get him to laugh about it to try and help." Carly hit out saying that barbecues need to be disposed of properly and people need to think about what they are doing. She said there were babies running around who could have fallen face first into it, adding that a dog or other wildlife could have also been hurt. Gordon Watson said, "We're disappointed and saddened to hear that a child has been injured because a barbecue wasn't disposed of properly. Litter not only spoils the spectacular landscape and views of the area but can be dangerous to people and wildlife. It's important that people take responsibility and do the right thing and properly cool and dispose of disposable barbecues carefully. We wish the young boy a speedy recovery and advise anyone who is planning to have a campfire or barbecue in the national park to make sure they clean up afterwards and leave no trace." Scottish Fire and Rescue said, "One of the main causes of fire is the careless disposal of barbecues into bins which already contain combustible materials."